In the bustling city of Abuja, the grand estate of Chief Nwosu stood tall, a shining example of wealth, power, and influence. Once a celebrated businessman, Chief Nwosu was now a divorced man with a tarnished reputation. His name still echoed in social circles, but whispers of scandal followed him everywhere. His adult children living abroad remained blissfully unaware of the storm brewing behind the high walls of their father's estate. In this estate worked Ada, a humble housekeeper who had always been a silent observer of the lives around her. Each day she polished the luxurious furnishings, swept the grand hallways, and tidied up after the many glamorous women who flitted in and out of Chief Nwosu's life. Each one was charmed by his reckless allure, representing the world Ada longed for, a world filled with wealth and power that seemed just out of reach. But inside her, ambition burned brightly. She dreamed of more than just being a servant. She wanted to be by his side, to be his partner, and perhaps even the mother of his child. One morning, after an extravagant party had left the house in chaos, Ada ventured into the chief's lavish bedroom to clean up the remnants of the night. Amid the mess of empty glasses and discarded decorations, her eyes fell upon something startling, a used condom carelessly left on the floor. This was not just a discarded item. It was a chance for the future she desperately sought. In a bold act of ambition, Ada carefully took the condom and inseminated herself, believing this was her only path to securing a place in Chief Nwosu's life. Weeks passed, and the quiet of Ada's modest home shattered when she discovered she was pregnant, with twins. Hope filled her heart. These children could be her ticket to the life she had only dreamed of. She envisioned the day Chief Nwosu would finally acknowledge her, not as a servant, but as someone important in his life. With newfound determination, Ada prepared to confront him, knowing this revelation would change everything. One calm evening, Ada found the courage to enter Chief Nwosu's private study. He sat there, a glass of whiskey in hand, gazing out the window as the last rays of sunlight faded. "I have something to tell you," she began, her voice trembling yet steady. "I'm pregnant." She took a deep breath. "And you are the father." Chief Nwosu's face twisted in disbelief. "What are you talking about?" he demanded, his voice cold and harsh. "I never had a relationship with you." Ada's heart raced as she boldly repeated her claim. "I'm carrying your twins." His response was furious. "This is absurd. You must be out of your mind." He stormed across the room, pointing toward the door. "Get out of my house." For a moment, Ada stood frozen, the weight of his rejection crashing down on her like a heavy stone. But her ambition was too strong to quell. She turned and left, but the fire within her did not extinguish. A few days later, the estate buzzed with excitement, hosting an important event. Guests arrived for a celebration, and the mansion was filled with laughter, clinking glasses, in the scent of expensive food. Chief Nwosu, still reeling from their earlier confrontation, tried to maintain a sense of normalcy, yet the tension was palpable. Ada entered the grand hall with a newfound purpose. She was no longer just the quiet servant. She was a woman wronged, a woman with a secret to expose. As the evening's festivities continued, she approached the center of the room, feeling all eyes turn to her. "Everyone needs to hear the truth," she declared, her voice trembling at first but gaining strength with each word. "On a night when you were drunk, you seduced me, and now I am pregnant with your children." Gasps filled the room as the crowd processed her shocking announcement. Chief Nwosu's face turned pale. Disbelief etched across his features. Whispers rippled through the gathering as shock settled in. "You're lying!" he shouted, but the momentum of the scandal could not be contained. As the news spread across Abuja like wildfire, Chief Nwosu's reputation began to unravel. Business partners who once stood by him distanced themselves, and his children, angry and disillusioned, refused to speak to him. The fallout was swift and merciless, leaving him scrambling to salvage what was left of his dignity. His every move was now scrutinized, and the empire he built was slowly sinking into ruin. Determined to clear his name, Chief Nwosu's lawyer suggested a DNA test, confident it would prove Ada's claims false. As the tension mounted, both sides anxiously awaited the results. Ada, certain the test would confirm her story, steeled herself for what she believed would be her victory. However, when the results came back, everyone was shocked to learn that the twins were not Chief Nwosu's children. The courtroom fell silent, and Ada's heart sank as she realized her carefully woven tale had unraveled. Just as she began to collect herself, she blurted out, "But I used your condom from your own bedroom." The revelation sent shockwaves through the room, leaving everyone in disbelief and confusion about who could truly be the father. Suddenly, a new figure entered the courtroom, Chijoke, a former maid who had worked in the estate years before. She had attended the hearing out of curiosity, and her presence would turn the tide of the trial. "I remember that night," she began, her voice steady and calm. "I saw someone else enter the chief's room that evening." Murmurs spread through the courtroom as everyone hung on her words. "It was Ugo the gateman," she continued. "I saw him sneak into the chief's room late that night." The tension escalated as the judge ordered a review of the CCTV footage from that evening. When the video played, the room fell silent. There it was, Ugo slipping into Chief Nwosu's room under the cover of darkness. The evidence was undeniable, and it became clear that the real betrayal lay with Ugo's reckless actions. With the truth unfolding, Ugo was called to the stand. "I didn't mean for this to happen," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "I was reckless. I never thought something like this would come to light." As the court listened attentively, he bowed his head in shame. What had started as a scandal about Chief Nwosu's supposed infidelity had now completely shifted. The real betrayal lay in Ugo's actions and his willingness to cover up his involvement in a way that threatened to destroy multiple lives. In the midst of the chaos, Ada gave birth to the twins. These children, born of ambition and deceit, became symbols of a desperate woman's hunger for power. The estate, once grand and full of life, now stood as a shadow of its former glory, echoing with the memories of the past. As the twins grew, they became constant reminders of the mistakes and lies that surrounded their birth. The legal battle continued, with Ada facing charges of deception and manipulation. Her world was unraveling, and though she was free from jail, the legal system offered no mercy. The court's final ruling would decide her fate and the future of the twins, caught in the web of their parents' ambitions. As Ada faced the possibility of jail time, she realized her only chance to avoid prison lay with Chief Nwosu. She had crossed lines she never imagined, but could she redeem herself for the sake of her children? With the court's decision looming, the suspense thickened. Would Chief Nwosu allow her a final chance at redemption, or would he turn his back on her forever? In a surprising and selfless move, Chief Nwosu decided to withdraw the court case. Despite Ada's betrayal, he couldn't bear to see the twins suffer for their parents' mistakes. He made the difficult decision to spare her from jail time, but made it clear there would be no reconciliation between them. Ada was no longer to be part of his world. Instead, she would raise the twins under court supervision, with Ugo, whose actions had compounded the scandal, playing a role in their upbringing. The compound was forever changed. Chief Nwosu, now free from the grip of scandal, could not escape the haunting reality of his past. His reputation was tarnished, but he slowly began to rebuild his life, keeping a safe distance from the people who had once been part of his world. Ada and Ugo, on the other hand, were left to navigate the complexities of raising twins who bore the weight of their parents' legacy. Though the children were innocent, they were caught in a legacy of betrayal, ambition, and scandal. As they grew, they would come to learn the heavy truth of their origins. In the end, the story of the twins was not one of grand redemption, but a tale of the consequences of ambition and deception. The legacy of a broken family and a shattered empire lived on, a silent reminder that sometimes the pursuit of power and love comes at a cost too high to bear. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to our channel for more African folktales and legends. Help us keep the traditions of our ancestors alive by sharing our content with friends and family. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to sharing our next story with you.